Yes, a very good evening to everyone. Welcome to Super 70 Series 2, Day 27. I am your host Shamima. Before we begin today's session, I would like to share a beautiful quote. Every book you read is a conversation with your mind that chooses to leave its wisdom behind. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, every presenter in Super 70 shares more than just a book review. They share ideas, experience, and lessons that inspire us to become better version of ourselves. That's what makes this journey so meaningful. 70 days, 70 participants, 70 inspiring books. With that spirit of learning and continuous growth, let's begin today's special session. Today's special Sunday English session. Yes, it's now my pleasure to introduce today's presenter. Our day 27 presenter is Miss Fatima Sasna Naushad. She is a psychological counselor, life skill trainer, motivational speaker, and lecturer. She is passionate about empowering individuals through counseling, motivation, and life skill education, helping them build confidence, emotional resilience, and personal growth. Today, she will be reviewing the inspiring book, The Mountain is You. I hope today's presentation will be insightful, practical, and deeply inspiring. Kindly join me in welcoming Ms. Fatima Sazna Naushad with big virtual round of applause. Ma'am, the virtual stage is yours. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Sister Shamima. Thank you so much, and very good evening to everybody. How are you all? So, I am Shazna Naushad, Fatima Shazna Naushad. As Sister Shamima told, that I'm a psychological counselor, life skill trainer. And today, for day 27, I'm here, and thank you so much for having me. And once again, very good evening, everybody. So, before I begin the session or begin the review, I have a question. Okay. So the question is very easy. Have you ever had a goal, right? Have you ever had a goal that you really wanted to achieve, but somehow you could not? For example, maybe you wanted to start a gym, or maybe you wanted to start a very healthy diet. You even planned, right? You even planned. Maybe you would have set up your schedule, your routine. You would have fixed your timing. Everything is ready. For instance, right, you have planned to join a gym. I'm just giving a very common example, right? So you have a plan to join a gym. You even got all your dresses, all the equipments, everything is ready, and you have that determination to do. But somehow something stopped you, and you did not make it. Your mind says, okay, maybe not tomorrow, maybe from next week. So your next week becomes next month, and then the cycle, it goes on. But still that is in your mind. I want to hit the gym, I want to go to gym, I want to start my healthy diet, I want to learn something new. um so many goals, so many ambitions, but something is there. Yes, right, it has happened. I mean, welcome to be human. We are humans. Okay, so once again, good evening, everybody. And today I'm going to share a very interesting book. So let me share the presentation. Right. So the book today about, or maybe I'm going to review or talk about is, or maybe I'm going to review about is The Mountain is You. The Mountain is You. Transforming self-sabotage into self-mastery. So before I go into this book, I have another question. When you hear the name, The Mountain is You, the title, The Mountain is You, what do you think about the content going to be? The Mountain is You. What do you think the book is about? Who can answer? It's okay. There is no correct. There is no wrong. Everything depends on your perception, right? Even when I got this book, I had a different idea. Okay, maybe this book will talk about certain thing. So what do you think? Okay, I'm getting, yeah, wait a second. So the answers. Mm, our goal is maybe mountain. I am big. Very good. Any other sharing? Any other answers? Any other answers? Okay. No problem. Keep your answers with you. Okay, we need that answers. Just keep it in your mind. Okay. So as I asked you, what do you think about this book? So this book, once again, The Mountain is You. The author of this book is Brianna Wiest. So she had written this book. But whatever we thought, whatever the idea we had about this title, The Mountain is You, is totally different. She had portrayed this idea in a very different yet very powerful way. Okay? Right. First of all, self sabotage. Self sabotage. First, I want to make sure that all of you understand, because this is the core features of this book. Self sabotage. I know most of you all might know, yet I will make it clear for you all, right? So, self sabotage is when our thoughts or maybe our actions, right? Our thoughts, our thinking, our feelings, our actions, our behavior, everything stops us from achieving the goals we truly want. So, at the beginning, I asked you, we all have a goal, we all have an ambition, we all plan to do, to achieve, but something is stopping us. Something which is hidden, we cannot see. We still can't identify what is stopping us. So, self sabotage is when all of this contents, our thoughts, our actions, stopping us from achieving, stopping us from achieving our goals, right? Okay. So why do we do this? Why do we self-sabotage? We really want to do something. We really want to achieve something. But why do we do that? Why do we stop from achieving? So self-sabotage is a coping mechanism. Okay, let me give a very common example. Right. We want to learn something. We want to start a program, or maybe we want to start a course. Okay. We really want to achieve that. We really want to do it. But still, we are afraid. Something is stopping us. Maybe that classes. Okay. The class hours is in the morning, early morning. You have to, sacrifice your sleep. And you are like, I have to sacrifice my sleep, so I can't join this program. Or maybe you are like, I'm a mother and I have to take care of my child. So this is very difficult for me to do. And you give so much of excuses. Okay. So this is one of a reason, that is a coping mechanism. Then an irrational fear. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? Now you are getting an opportunity to do a public speaking or maybe a motivational program. You love it. You love to do. But some fear, some anxiety inside is stopping you. Maybe you are thinking, maybe people might laugh. Maybe the way I talk makes people to laugh. And you have so much of fear that fear itself is stopping you. So that is one of the reason, irrational fear. Unconscious or negative association. So unconscious or negative association is very easy, very simple thing. That is your past experiences. Maybe once upon a time in your life, you would have had faced some criticism or some negative experience. Based on that, you have jumped into conclusion thinking, I cannot do this. If I do this again, I'll be a failure. For example, examination. Maybe we would have failed a couple of examination and we have another one more chance to do. But there is a positive side and there is a negative side. But we focus only onto the negative part, thinking I have already failed. So definitely if I try, I'm going to fail. So that is your unconscious negative association. And then unfamiliarity. So what is unfamiliarity? See, most of us are afraid of uncertainty. Okay. Once again, You have all the abilities, all the skills, and you want to do a job. But your mind says, we don't know, after we start this job, we don't know what is going to happen. Maybe you will feel so much, you will face so much of challenges. Maybe you will have to, do so many work, so many duties. So you are afraid of unfamiliarity. You are afraid of changes. You don't want to change. You feel you are safe in being in your comfort zone. So what is comfort zone? So literally, comfort zone means no changes. You don't want to change. You feel it's okay. Let me stay like this. Let me sit like this because I feel very comfortable being like this. Even if you want to achieve in your life, your mind says, no, you don't have to try anything. Just be how you are. That is comfortable. Otherwise, you will fail. Otherwise, you will have to face so many difficult circumstances. So that is unfamiliarity. This is why most of us do self-sabotage. Okay. And then indeed limiting beliefs. So limiting belief means you yourself tell you can't do this, you can't talk, you cannot face the world, you cannot face the challenges, you are married, or maybe you have children, or maybe you have too much of responsibility, you cannot start a new job, or you cannot achieve in your life. So much of limiting beliefs. That is one of the main reason why we self-sabotage. So this is what the writer says, Brianna, this is why we self-sabotage. Signs. Okay, now you know what is self-sabotage and you know the symptoms. So now I'm going to ask you, do you self-sabotage? So the signs are this. Number one, procrastinating important tasks. For example, you have a deadline you are supposed to do. But your mind says, it's okay, I will do later, maybe I will do tomorrow, today night I will do, tomorrow morning I will do. You procrastinate, you delay the task. That is one of the clear sign of self-sabotage. Okay. The next one is overthinking decision. You overthink so much. As I said you earlier, you make a decision, you want to study, you want to do your degree, or maybe you want to do a new program. But your mind speaks a lot. What if I fail? What if I'm unable to complete something? Or what if this program is not suitable for me? So much of thoughts running in your mind. So that is delaying your decision. Okay. Then fear of failure or even success. Okay, now you will have a doubt. Okay, fear of failure is okay. What do you mean by fear of success? Okay, fear of failure is clear, right? What is fear of success? Who can say? Who can say what do you mean by fear of success? Everyone wants to succeed, right? Everyone wants to succeed. So what is this fear of success? Who can say? Who can tell? Yes, procrastination definitely indeed falls into self-sabotage. Okay. Now see, you had started something and you succeed in it. Now at this moment, you will feel, okay, I had succeed. Now how will I take my next step? I'm scared. I'm not ready for that. I'm not suitable for that. You are like, for example, you have got your certificate or your degree certificate, everything, and you are ready. You are doctorated, or maybe you have got that what do you call the particular degree you are trying for, or maybe you applied for a job and you got the job. Now you're afraid to start. You are like, okay, I just applied, but I don't know how to do that. That is afraid for success. You did it, but you don't know how to continue your life from that. Okay. Then perfectionism. Now, what is this perfectionism? Some of us think, I'm not ready now, I need everything to be like proper and perfect, only then I will start. Okay, now example. It's a very interesting example. Imagine this is like mid of the month. Maybe it's a 12th or maybe it's 10th. Now you want to start your gym. So I'm taking this gym thing because it's very common. Okay. Now you are like, no, it's the middle of the month. No, it's 12th. No, let this month finish. I'll start exactly from the first of the next month. It's like then I have 30 days properly. I have 30 days. No. So that not only in that, in everything, it must be perfect. It must be like this. Then only I will start. Then only I can do anything. So when we think like this, what happens is you are not going to begin. You are not going to start. Once again, you're delaying your decision. So these are the signs of self-sabotage and making excuse. So we give so much of excuses. Why didn't you start doing your thing? No, because I was not, I didn't have time. I had some other work to do. Then otherwise I had head pain. Okay, if it's not severe, yes, that's an excuse. If it is severe, definitely you have to take care of yourself. But I'm telling just excuses we make, like a lot of excuses. So the glass broke, the door didn't work, so much of excuses. So these are the signs of self-sabotage. Now you ask yourself, do I have this? Okay. And yes, staying in your comfort zone, we discussed about that. So this was not said about myself. This is what the book is talking about. Now I asked you a question at the beginning of the session, right? What do you mean by this? The mountain is you. So I got so many answers. The mountain is you means what do you call? So what are the answers I got? The mountain means the challenge. The mountain is myself is big and everything. Now I'm asking you a question again. What do you mean by the mountain is you? Once again. Now we discussed, right? What is self-sabotage? What are the uh, types of self-sabotage? And what are the signs of self-sabotage? What is stopping you from achieving? Now I'm asking you again. The book title, The Mountain is You. What do you think? What do you think about the meaning of the mountain is you? Who can say? Who can tell? Who can tell? See, most of us, we blame our external environment for not achieving or accomplishing our goals, right? So I'm getting some answers, we'll see. Real transformation within. Yes. Mind is the thing stops us from achieving. Exactly. Procrastinating is maybe. See, we were thinking, so your answers are correct. We were thinking, what is stopping us? The external environment. That's what we are thinking. My family, my husband, my wife, my children, my job, my employer, the weather, the country. But what's stopping us really is you. So, what is the mountain? The mountain is you. The mountain means what is stopping you. So I got an answer. The barrier. The barrier is the mountain and the barrier is within us. So if we start to change within us, then every challenges around us, no matter how big the external challenges we have, we will have the ability to face them. This is what Brianna says, the author of the book says. If we are able to challenge ourselves, challenge our self-sabotage, no matter what kind of challenges we face externally, no matter how difficult your exams are, no matter how difficult your circumstances are, if you have that willpower, if you have that determination, you will definitely make a way out. So this is why the book is known as The Mountain is You. So when I first bought this book, when I saw the cover, I thought, okay, maybe she's talking about the challenges, how we can overcome the challenges. But after reading this book only, I recognized the challenge is myself. I am the biggest challenge. I have to face myself. That is called self sabotage. That is always you versus you, me versus me. That is what this book is talking about. Right. Now, this is Brianna Via says the greatest act of self love is to no longer accept a love you are unhappy with. You have a goal to accomplish, but because of these self sabotage symptoms, you are unable to achieve them. Are you happy? No, because something incomplete is within us, right? You want to be a doctor or you want to be a well achieved something, but due to all these reasons, you are unable to accomplish it. So we cannot be happy. So that's what she's saying. You have to give your priority to self love. So if you love yourself, you won't self sabotage. I won't self sabotage. I'm not telling this, it's her. Okay? Right. So here, what you have to do is accept the reality, take responsibility, choose growth over excuses. The first step, now you will ask me, okay, I understand. I'm the biggest challenge. I'm the biggest mountain. Now, what am I supposed to do? What are the steps? The very first step is changing the way we think. So, as I got received answers, everything is within us. The way we think, our mindset, our perception. So changing the way we think. So the writer of this book says you have to change the way you think. Okay? Perfectionism. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay. You have to be flexible. If you think like, okay, I will begin my goal from August 1 or September 1st, you are going to waste the entire days in between. So sometimes it's okay to give you excuses for yourself. Okay, so perfectionism. Second one, limited emotional processing skills. Your emotions. You know, in order to achieve something, it's not going to be easy. You have to do some sacrifices. Now, you have to sacrifice some of your sleep. You have to sacrifice your comfort zone. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your outings. I'm just telling, as family, right? Sometimes you have to sacrifice some joyful moment just, so that you can achieve the biggest joy in your life. If we think like, oh my God, I'm going to miss all this, I'm going to miss my sleep, I cannot do this, then definitely this your entire journey is going to be difficult. So the next, justification. So you cannot justify yourself like, okay, I did not achieve because, right, I had this thing, or I'm a family woman, I'm a family man, I have so many things to do. It's not. If you need something, you will however make a way for that. So that is justification. Then the key message, we often stay stuck because we wait to be perfect, avoid difficult emotions, or keep justifying our actions. Remember, participants, when we are striving to achieve something, we may fall down. We will fall down. It does not mean you are a failure. You cannot call yourself a failure. It happens because you are climbing a mountain. You might slip, you might fall. But trust me, if you somehow climb, you will see the most beautiful view. And everybody knows that. So that's why, based on that, you don't underestimate. So changing the way you think is the powerful change there. So some of the practical way, progress is better than perfection. Feel your emotion instead of avoiding them. You don't say, no, I'm not crying. If you are feeling sad, yes, accept it. You don't have to avoid them. Then stop making excuses. So number 2, replacing old habits with better ones. Now you change your thinking pattern. Now you're going to change your habit. Sometimes your habit also can contribute in self-sabotage. Example, your sleeping pattern. Now see, most of us in this era, what we do is we don't go, even if we go to sleep early to the bed, we are busy scrolling. So when we are scrolling, we are wasting so much of time and we end up sleeping late. So due to that, maybe we wake up late, we don't wake up on time, and we don't start our other routines on time. So this is going to influence so much in our productivity, right? So disorganization, attachment to what you don't really want. So the key message is our environment and our habits influence our behavior. Sometimes we chase goals, they aren't truly ours. We are now, you ask yourself, you are living your life, you are waking up, you are doing your work. Are you really doing what you like? Are you really on your track? Ask yourself. I'm traveling. Where am I going towards? This is the moment you are supposed to ask. Application. So that's what I ask you. Is this goal really mine? Or am I trying to meet someone else's expectation? So that is second one. Third one is let go of what holds you back. Judging others. So we stay in one place rather than thinking of changing ourselves, we judge others. We sit and we judge others. The pride we have. Now imagine you really want to accomplish your goal, so you will have to talk to some people in order to, do some procedures. But because of your pride, you don't feel to. Why should I go and talk to that person? I can do by myself. And at the end, we don't do anything, right? Then guilt of succeeding. Then fear of failing. So we spoke about both of this in the earliest slides, right? So downplaying success. So we think success are like very easy thing, and everyone are succeeding. It's okay. It's not a must. We just give some excuses. So in Tamil we say, right, etta the palam pulikumai, like that only. So it's like the fruits you cannot reach, it's sour. Okay. Then the key message is many of our biggest obstacles are invisible. Definitely you cannot say all this time till now, till I realized I didn't know myself is the biggest obstacle in like to achieve my own goal. So we compare ourselves with others, our fear of success, our fear of failure, every single thing contribute for self-sabotage. Okay. So the application, celebrate your progress, no matter how small your progresses are. No matter how small, celebrate it. Maybe you would have moved from A to B. It's okay. You still achieved it. Okay. Don't think like it's a small achievement. What is this? Everyone are doing. No, don't underestimate it. No matter how small it is, don't compare. Now you might be like, I just did a diploma, but they have done PhD. So is this a big success? It's not like that. You did it. So you celebrate it. Okay, you just doing public speaking in front of 2 to 3 people. It's okay. You're doing it. You're starting. That is the biggest success. So accept compliments. Even a small compliment, don't disgrace it. Stop comparing. This is the biggest thing here. We put ourselves down. We self-sabotage by comparing ourselves with people around us. Don't compare. Always remember you are unique. You are unique. You have your own self-space. So you follow that. You follow your goal, and definitely you can achieve. Then don't let fear decide your future. So anxiety is one of the main reason why we don't move forward. So that is one of the point. So what can we do from self-sabotage to self-mastery? So Brianna says self-mastery is not becoming someone new. So you're not going to be someone new. It is becoming aware of your pattern. So if you know your negative pattern, you are going to change it into the positive pattern. Okay. So number one, so we will look into as a pillar. Okay. So pillar number one, master your mind, know your mind, learn your mind, know your emotion, control your emotion, but you don't have to suppress. If you feel sad, it's okay. It's okay to be sad, but you don't have to, shout, and you don't have to cry, and you don't have to project your emotion to someone. But don't suppress. Don't fool yourself by saying, I'm not sad, I'm very strong, I don't be sad. It's not like that. You should be able to control your emotion, but do not suppress. Master your mind. Okay. Feelings are not always facts. Sometimes we feel something. Sometimes you will feel maybe it can be like this, maybe I will fail, but it's not the truth. Okay? Then learn to trust yourself again. My dear participants, don't expect people around you to trust you. First, you trust yourself. If you trust yourself, everyone around you will trust yourself. If you want to start something, don't think like, can I do? Remember, you can do. You are the best there. Always remember that. If you are in the crowd, remember you are best. I'm not telling you like to put everyone down and think I am only best. It's not that. It's not I am only best. You remember I am best. You are best. You are not weak. Always remember that. Always tell yourself, call yourself, I am strong. That is what Brianna says here. So trust yourself. Find inner peace. So when you constantly compare yourself with others, then where is the peace? So find your peace within yourself. So the key takeaway from this pillar number 1, you cannot control every thought, but you can choose your response. You may get angry, you may be sad, you can be happy, surprised, nervous, everything. It comes. We are human. We get our emotions, right? But you can definitely choose how to respond. So that is what Brianna says here under Master Your Mind. Then you have build mental strength. So what do you mean by build mental strength? Whenever you have a goal or any target, let it be long term. Don't think like, let your dream be very big. It's okay. Only then you can achieve. Let it be big. You should expect, you should accept. Give me a second. Give me a minute. I'm getting... Okay, so I will have to finish it off soon. So due to the time. So remember, think long term, create a plan, stop all or nothing thinking, and take responsibility of your choice. So this is pillar 2. So mental strength is to build, like, let your decision be very consistent and don't wait for perfect circumstances. Then the pillar 3, she speaks about heal instead of avoid. So process your difficult emotions, talk about your struggles, learn from your mistakes, let go of the past, and take small steps. So this is heal instead of avoiding. Do not avoid your any pain or any struggles, but try to heal it. Then those are the pillar 3. Then you have pillar 4. So pillar 4 speaks about turn pain into growth. So remember, your triggers are signals, discomfort is a teacher, growth happens gradually. So that is pillar 4 she speaks about. And then definitely pillar 5 is choose joy every day. So stop chasing happiness. That means it's okay if your day is challenging full, but don't go behind comfort zone. Live in the present. Stop living in the past or worrying about your future. Okay, even the small things, appreciate it, build meaningful relationship, and definitely don't stop learning. So this is the pillar 5. So happiness is not something to chase, it is something to allow. Then pillar 6 is live with purpose. So protect your energy, schedule your rest. So rest is something very important. Don't forget about that. Make time to play and stay curious. Keep growing. So meaningful life is created one intentional day at a time. So when you are living, remember, live with mindfulness. Don't live with autopilot. So the greatest battle, again, remember, the greatest battle is not against the world, not your external environment. It is always, the battle is between you and you to become the best version. So who is stopping you from being the best version? It's you. It's myself. So once we master our mind, we begin to master our life. This is self-sabotage. It has always been you versus you. So this is the book, The Mountain Is You About. And thank you so much. Maybe I have taken extra time. Thank you so much. I hope this book will help you and myself in order to.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. That was truly a meaningful and inspiring presentation. You beautifully explained that our greatest challenge is often ourselves and that real transformation begins from within. Today's key takeaway can be summed up in this quote: the mountain standing in your way is often the one within you. When we learn to manage our fears, emotions, and self limiting beliefs, every external challenge becomes easier to overcome. Thank you once again for sharing your valuable knowledge and wonderful insight with all of us. Let's appreciate our presenter once again with a big virtual round of applause. Yes, now let's move to our feedback session. Kindly raise your hands and share your thoughts and type your answer in chat box also. Let's hear from one or two participants. Yes, it's time already. 10:20. Yes, anyone? Kindly raise your hands. Share your feedbacks in chat box also. Anyone? Okay. Share your feedbacks in all, Tamil also. In Tamil? Okay. Okay. Thank you everyone for your honest reflections and valuable participations. As we come to end of today's session, our sincere thanks to our presenter for such a thoughtful and inspiring presentation. Thank you to each participant for your presence, participation, and commitment to learning. Remember, every book changes our perspective, every presentation expands our thinking, and every day of Super 70 brings us one step closer to becoming wiser, stronger, and better individuals. We look forward to seeing you again in our next session with another inspiring book review. Until then, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing. Good night. Thank you.